everyone, this is Group 4 and today we will discuss what is the instantaneous rate of change, optimization problems, and related rates. These presentations aims to present what are these topics and how to solve these problems.
So, what is the rate of change? Rate of change is the change in one variable in relation to the change in another variable. A common example of this is speed. Speed is the change in distance with relation to time. The rate of change can be given as either average or instantaneous. But you may ask, so what is the difference between them? Well, I think I can provide it in a more simpler answer. So here are the differences between them. The instantaneous rate of change is essentially the value of the derivative at a point. In other words, it is the slope of the tangent line to that point of course. While the average rate of change is the slope of the second line. Passing through 2 points, it gives the average rate of change across an interval.
The instantaneous rate of change is a measure of how fast a relationship between two variables is changing at any point. The relationship between two variables can often be described using a mathematical function. The instantaneous rate of change is often called the derivative because it can be found by differentiating the function of the two variables.
Okay, so for example 1 of instantaneous rate of change, the problem is the power of P in watts supplied to a circuit by a battery is given by the formula P equals 6I minus 0.5 raised to 2, where I is the current in amperes. What is the approximate instantaneous rate of change of power when the current is 4 amperes? Okay, so looking at the formula, P equals 6I minus 0.5I raised to 2. So we change I into 4. So it equals 6 times 4 minus 0.5 times 4 raised to 2. And then we do the times. 6 times 4 becomes 24. And then we do the 4 in open and close parentheses. It gets raised to 2, so it becomes 16. And then we times it by 0.5, so it becomes 8. And then we do 24 minus 8, and then that's how we got 16. And so P equals 16. Therefore, the approximate instantaneous rate of change of power is 16 watts.
Optimization is a process of finding maximum and minimum values given constraints using calculus. For example, you'll be given a situation where you're asked to find the maximum profit, the minimum travel time, or possibly the least costly enclosure. So sa madaling salita natin, yung optimization problems is ginagamit natin siya para mahanap yung largest or smallest value ng isang quantity, di ba? Given na may ilang constraints yun or limits dun sa ating problem. Si optimization problems, ito yung usually sinasabi lagi yung mga, kunwari, ayan, maximum profit or the minimum. Andun lagi yung mga yan, yung the maximum and the minimum. Tapos, may dagdag pa na value of some quantity, diba? Mga ganun.
So in example 1, the sum of two positive numbers is 12. What are these numbers if their product is a maximum? Let x and y be the variables of the two positive numbers. So meron tayong equation na x plus y is equal to 12 since sinabi dito na the sum of two positive numbers is 12. And then what are these numbers if their product is a maximum? Yung product naman, yun yung equation na to, which is x multiplied by y. Ang gusto muna natin gawin para masagutan yung product is kailangan natin makuha yung isang variable. Since wala pa siya, gagamitin natin itong equation na to, x plus y equals 12. And gusto natin gawin is i-isolate si y. Then if in-isolate natin si y, i-transpose natin si x sa tabi ni 12. And then magiging negative siya kasi transpose na. After nyo ma-transpose, gagamitin natin yung value ng y na yan. And gagamitin siya dito sa p is equal to x multiplied by y. So, ang nangyari ay p equals x, parentheses 12 minus x, close parentheses. So, ang gagawin dyan, i-multiply lang si x or distribute. X multiplied by 12 is 12x, and then x multiplied by x is x squared. Minus sign kasi negative din dito, or minus din. Ngayon naman, find the first derivative, or ida-derive lang natin itong equation na to. Ngayon, para makuha natin yung first derivative, i-multiply natin si 12 sa exponent ni x, which is 1, yung parang invisible 1. And then, 1 times 12 is equal to 12x. And then, mangyayari is 1 minus 1, since ganun yung sa rule. And then, katulad din dito sa x squared, ita-derive natin siya. So, 2 times x magiging 2x. And then, and then nasulat dito, 2x squared minus 1. Kasi nga sa rule, i-minus palagi sa exponent sa 1. So, nangyari is 1 minus 1 dito, naging 0 siya dito. So, nawala si x dito sa final na And then dito naman, 2x to the power of 1, which is also equal to 2x. Ngayon naman, we want to set the first derivative equal to 0. The first derivative of p is equal to 12 minus 2x. Gagawin natin, i-equal natin siya sa 0. Ngayon naman, since naka-equal siya sa 0, ita-transpose natin si 12, and then magiging negative 12 siya. So, magiging negative 2x minus equals negative 12. Since gusto natin ma-simplify siya, or kunin yung value ng x, i-divide natin both sides by negative 2. So, dito, negative 2x divided by 2, and then negative 12 divided by 2. Ang answer niya is magiging 6. So, x equals 6. Para makuha si y, gagamitin ulit natin yung equation kanina, which is y equals 12 minus x. Since nakuha na natin yung value ng x, papalitan natin siya dito. So, mangyayari is y equals 12 minus 6. And ang sagot dun is y equals 6. Yan naman yung product, which is yung equation ay x times y. Since meron na tayo parehong value, yung x tsaka y, yung value ni x dito ay 6, and then yung value din ni y dito ay 6. Gagawin na natin, multiply na natin sila, which is 6 and 6. 6 times 6 is equal to 36, and then yung product natin.
For example number 1, an airplane is flying towards a radar station at a constant height of 6 kilometers above the ground. If the distance between the airplane and radar station is decreasing at a rate of 400 km per hour when s is equals to 10 km, what is the horizontal speed of the plane? To solve this, we have 5 steps to solve this problem. So the step 1 is draw a diagram. To draw a diagram, kailangan natin bumalik sa questions para malaman natin kung ano yung mga elements na ilalagay natin sa diagram. So yung una, an airplane is flying towards a radar station. So we have our radar station here. Then, it says that at a constant height of 6 kilometers above the ground, and we have the ground here. So we have the plane, the radar station, and ground in our graph, in our diagram. Then the next thing, label all quantities at their rate of change. So I use S, Y, and X to label all the quantities of the diagram. The next thing is we're going to define their values. So S is equals to 10, then Y is equals to 6, while X, wala pang value sa X. Then, ang Y prime natin dito is 0, while our S is equals to 400 kilometers per hour. And the next, our step 3 is to relate all the quantities in the same equation. So I use Pythagorean theorem here, pero pinalitan ko lang yung mga letters ng X, Y, and S. So, after nating makakuha ng formula, isa-substitute lang natin sila. So, Y is equals to 6, then S is equals to 10, then X squared will remain here. Kaya, yon, X squared plus 6 squared is equal to 36, then 100, then 10 squared is equals to 100. Then, nililipat lang natin si 36 sa kabila. So, it will be X squared equals 100 minus 36. Then, after nating ma-minus si 100 kay 36, i-squared natin siya para mawala yung square. Then, si X, value lang na X yung matira. So, si X is equals to 8. Since we find the value of X, we're going to differentiate the equation with respect to time. So, yung formula na nakuha natin kanina, ito, we're going to differentiate this. The derivatives of x squared is 2x times its derivative of x with respect to time, then 2y times the derivative of y with respect to time is equals to 2s times ds derivative of s with respect to time. We can also write this like this one because dt over dx is also equals to x prime. The last and the fifth step is use the resulting equation to answer the question. So, ang gagawin lang natin dito, we're going to substitute yung mga nakuha nating value sa ating nakuhang formula after natin silang i-differentiate. So, si 2, since our x is 8, our y is 6, and our s is 10, then the derivative of s is negative 400. Negative 400 siya, it is because it decrease. It is written here na nag-decrease siya. Pero kapag sinabing it increase, yung negative 400 natin magiging positive 400 siya. But because it says na decreasing, it will be negative 400. Then ito times lang natin siya. So 16 times derivative of x with respect to time. So because missing yung ating derivative of x with respect to time kasi wala pa yan, hindi pa natin siya nahanap, isusulat lang natin siya ng ganyang form. Plus 12 times derivative of y with respect to time is equals into 20 times negative 400. Then 6. Then after that, 16 times dx over dt is equal into negative 8,000. So, nawala yung ating 12 times dy over dt kasi yung ating dy over dt is equals to 0. So, 0 times 12 is equals to 0. Kaya nawala na siya. Then, to remove the 16 here sa ating equation at para malaman natin yung value ng ating dx over dt, we were going to divide both sides by 16. Then, 16 divided by 16 cancel out. Then, 8,000, negative 8,000 divided by 16 is equals into negative 500 kilometers per hour. To conclude, the horizontal speed of the plane towards the radar station is 500 kilometers per hour.